This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi.
Against the Flow of Mississippi was written by Anthony Oksenholt and was published by Oksenholt Biloxi Publishing, LLC. A link to the book will be placed in the description below.
Yeah, this a revolution in our time. Everybody's fighting, change coming, yes. That's why it's an acronym for riot. Everybody has a voice. Don't you dare stay silent. If you say nothing, you are an accessory to violence.
They've had their say. Seems like they've had that kind of say around here for too long. Look, I had to stand up for myself alone. I went in there to remind them that somewhere in this world there's still a little law and order left. To let them know in the only kind of terms that their kind understand is that they can't bribe or threaten their way out of what they did. To let them do this to me and get away with it, and you give them the eternal right to do the same damn thing to any one of you.
Access 228, your host, Anthony Oksenholt, where we report the facts and we are not for sale. If you have a news story or something that's on your mind, please feel free to give us a call at 228-337-2099. Be glad to have you on. Thank you for listening, and we do appreciate all that you do to support us and keep free and independent journalism doing what we do best. All right, y'all. See if round two will work. So, I need to know. First off, welcome to Access 228, your host, Anthony Oksenholt. I need to know. Like, I really need to know. What the fuck is up with the Gulfport Police Department? Specifically, Gulfport. I don't hear this shit coming out of Biloxi. I don't hear this shit coming out of Long Beach. I don't hear this shit coming out of the Harrison County Sheriff's Department. I heard a couple things out of Harrison County, but it seems to me that Gulfport is consistently in the line of fire. What brought me back to even doing this type of podcast was an incident from Gulfport PD. An excessive force incident. By somebody who was a black officer, surprisingly, racially profiling black motorists in North Gulfport. You can't make this shit up. Y'all, I'm a fucking writer. And I can't make this shit up. Then I heard about this same officer continuing the same shit after a black female county court judge, who I have all the respect in the world for, Robin Midcalf, said, "You're wrong. You can't do this." He continues to do it anyway. Then we have officers with the city of Gulfport. And again, this happened, another incident to somebody I personally know, which really pissed me off. And by the way, to the officers that were involved with this, I hope you see this because I'm coming after your job. Yeah. That little girl, somebody very special to me. Put it this way. I changed that child's diapers and I still call her a child even though she's in her 20s. That should tell you how badly y'all fucked up and how badly I want your badges. Nothing less will be acceptable to me. But you have officers that are ignoring blatant domestic violence, really domestic violence terrorism, if you want to get down to it. And then municipal court and justice court not wanting to do their job about it. Game on, motherfuckers. Game on. I'm coming after jobs. Not only do I want you assholes fired, I would love it if y'all were criminally charged. That would just make my fucking day. I'll be dealing with y'all when I come home. I'm taking about a week off to deal with some personal things, and those are on my list. I have a lot on my list for that week. But anyway, then I get sent a video that I posted by a dear sweet friend of mine about, lo and behold, hang on, what department was this? Oh yeah, Gulfport PD on 19th Street, putting a guy in orbit. A guy that's in handcuffs. Put him in orbit. What's going on here? I'm not saying you can't use force on a guy in handcuffs. You absolutely can. I've used force on people that's in handcuffs. To a limited degree, you have the 100% right. The guy's trying to headbutt you, spit on you, shin scrape you, foot stomp you, trying to pull away from you, trying to run from you. Yeah, you can use force on a guy in handcuffs. Yes, a guy in handcuffs can absolutely hurt you. 100%. You will never get an argument out of me. I've had motherfuckers that I put in 5-point restraints, leg irons, waist chain with a black box, and handcuffs. That's 5-point restraints. Knock on the cell door and say, "Hey, Sarge, do you need this back?" And handed me back all my shit. I'm not saying somebody in handcuffs is harmless whatsoever. I would never say that. I'm a fucking CO. I know how dangerous somebody in handcuffs can actually be if they want to be. But I also know that physics play a part here. And a guy that's handcuffed behind his back, though he can do the aforementioned spit, shin scrape, foot stomp, headbutt, pull away, run away, etc., so forth and so on, if you allow it, that kind of goes back to your training. I want to read some of the comments from video that I posted about this. The video is, if you can look it on my page. What the fuck, Gulfport Police, excessive force again. Gulfport Police put suspect into orbit. That's the video that I'm referring to, and I'm reading the comments. BKK 7705 says citizens are sick of the out of control, dangerous cops who don't know the law. Breaking the law to enforce the law is unacceptable. Remove immunity now for all government officials, cops, judges, and employees now. BKK, that spoke to my soul, son. I've been saying that shit for years. And that's exactly what this channel is about, is accountability. Don't let the fact that a lot of my videos are about Gulfport, the Gulfport Police Department in the city of Gulfport. I love Biloxi. I'm from there. I know most of the city council members, and I know the mayor. I know the police chief over there. But if y'all start fucking up, y'all can get it too. And those of y'all in the city just went, Anthony ain't fucking playing. Because you already know. You fuck up, you can come get it. You want to see me in the city council again? I've been known to go. And I promise you, my goal is 7 months I'm off the road. That makes me a lot more dangerous. And that means that I can attend some city council meetings. Just keep that in mind. You probably will see me. Unknown user H4B3K. Damn, I'm getting to where I need glasses. Says there's no excuse for this. Gulfport police are garbage if they continue to allow this. You're right. There is zero excuse for this. Steve Ladner, 4346 states, my last name can get you in or out of the electric chair all on the same day or near the Gulf Coast. Well, yeah, you know what? With a last name like Ladner, you're right. Snark and Sass, I don't know who you are, but I really want to talk to you. Because I really want you to clarify what these acronyms are that I'm going to read at the end of your comment. Overturned court approved IQ cap. I'd love to know what an IQ cap is, because I've never heard that. I've heard it on the internet, but I've never heard it officially. In hiring practices of police departments. Then about 4 emojis, and then he's got HFTCD. Is that a D? Yeah, it is. I'm in my week off. I'm also scheduling myself for an eye appointment. HFTJDSIFUAS. Sir, please tell me what these acronyms mean. I'm just going to say that I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over the bullshit. I'm over the excessive force. You know, full disclosure, because I'm an author. I'm writing a book about Gulfport Police. Why am I writing a book about Gulfport Police using excessive force? Because they're so well known for it. Here lately, anyway. Seems to be. Are they not teaching de-escalation? I want to know how many Gulfport police officers can tell me what preclusion is. I want to know how many officers with the Gulfport Police Department can tell me how preclusion applies to use of force. I want to know, and look, I've used my share of force, 100%. I have zero issue using force if I have no other opportunity, no other choice. There's nothing I have to use force now. There is nothing I can do to avoid using force. I'm going to use force, spontaneous or controlled. If it's an organized use of force, I've done those. If it's a spontaneous use of force, I've had plenty of those too. I don't like using force unless I have to. Now, if I have to, I don't mind going hands on. I will 100% go hands on, but I'm following policy. I'm following the law. I'm following good conscience efforts. And I'm going to make it the last resort possible before I go hands on with somebody. When I when I use force, I have a damn good reason for using force. I don't do it just because the spirit moves me this day. I don't do it because my girlfriend didn't give me a blowjob last night. Now, back to putting this guy in orbit. If anybody knows what happened, who this guy is, who the officers involved were, the date it happened, I need this information. I want to look at the body cam footage. I want to see why this officer thought it was a great idea to slam this guy to the ground. I have no problem redirecting somebody in handcuffs to the deck. If I feel that that's what I need to do to keep myself, my other officers, and that person who's in handcuffs safe, I will absolutely redirect you to the ground. But I'm going to redirect you to the ground using the least force, using as minimal force as necessary to achieve compliance and controlling the speed of descent. If that means that I have to put you, if that means that I have to put you in a chicken wing and torque your shoulder forward and take you to the ground, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to control the speed of descent. I don't want you to get hurt. I'm not going to let you hurt me. But I don't want you to get hurt either. Maybe redirect the guy to a car or to a wall or to something else that's immovable. And yeah, these officers had a crowd forming around them. It was a hostile crowd. Okay, I get that. Guess what? You're in the fucking public, dude. You're in the public, and people don't trust the police. You kind of signed up for that. And y'all's actions, slamming this guy to the deck, there's a pretty good reason why nobody trusts the police. When you violate the law, What do you think's going to happen? Now, I want to talk about qualified immunity. Qualified immunity has been taken so far out of its original context that it's stupid. Its initial reason was to protect law enforcement officers from frivolous lawsuits. If I had a nickel for every time some convict told me he was going to sue my ass, I'd be a rich man. You know how many times I've been sued? Boop. 0. Anthony, how come you've never been sued? Because I've never done anything to get sued. Now, let me tell y'all something. Correctional officers don't have qualified immunity. Straight up. Police do. Correctional officers do not. I've had a lot of convicts try to sit there and say they were going to sue me, and I'm like, okay, well, see you in court, Bubba. But you still going to go ahead and do what I told you to do. You can sue me, yeah. Go put a request into the law library, and I'm sure one of the law librarians would be happy to help you bring a suit against me. Go ahead. Be ready for when I answer it. But you're more than welcome to go take it. Police officers, y'all get the special treatment. Y'all have the qualified immunity. And I never worked for a private prison working for some private company. I've always worked for the state or for the county. Directly, not indirectly through like Geo Group or Core Civic or any of that bullshit. No. I work directly for the state or directly for the county. Most of my time I worked for the state of Florida, which is why I think my training is superior to Mississippi's training. And I'm right. Look at the fucking curriculum. Y'all really don't understand what y'all are doing. If the public doesn't trust you, they're not going to call you. You know what happens when the public stops calling the police? You have vigilante justice. I really, on one hand, I think vigilante justice has its place. But on the other hand, scares the shit out of me because of the innocent people that can get hurt in the process. And what are you going to do when you have vigilante justice going on because nobody wants to call you? Then you go investigate it and everybody zips up. Now, you've got your higher class citizenry that scares shitless. It's chaos in the streets, bedlam. That what y'all want? Gulfport PD? Don't say it can't happen. Don't even think it can't happen because it absolutely can. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. But y'all's approval rating with your common citizens is in the fucking toilet. I want y'all to know that. I know people who are completely scared to call the police in the city of Gulfport because they don't know what's going to happen next. What do you think's going to happen? Let me ask y'all another question. Do you know anything about history? Have you ever heard of the Huey P. Newton, the Huey Newton Gun Club? Bunch of Black Panthers back in the 60s that were walking around Oakland, California, patrolling their neighborhood with weapons. Untrained civilians with firearms patrolling the streets. Does that sound like a fun day for y'all? Because it doesn't sound very fun to me. It's happened before. I think it can happen again, and I pray it doesn't. But it will happen again if y'all don't cut the shit. Start treating people like fucking people. Y'all have a good day. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta get to Chicago in the morning.